Fat Joe, what do you know? Gil Scott Heron.
It stands out on that highway like a creature from another time.
See, Fat Joe, what you don't understand is that the precursor to hip hop was Gil Scott Heron. Ask Chuck D. Like a preacher that stands on the corner.
It inspires the baby's question. What's that?
And inspires the baby's questions. Inspires our questions. So I got a question for you, Fat Joe. Fat Joe, you didn't create anything. What in your mind thinks you and Puerto Ricans created hip hop? This is 1970 something. Gil Scott was on the scene in the 60s, and he's a Chicago boy. Yeah, he spent time after being in Tennessee, in Chicago, and then he went to New York. So you got some rights to claim them New Yorkers, but he's a Chicago born, Tennessee raised by his grandmother. And Chuck D even says he was the inspiration to a lot of these young rappers, a lot of these young hip hop guys.
For their mothers as they ride, but no one stopped to think about the babies or how they would survive. And we've almost lost Detroit.
So Fat Joe, I'm a Detroiter. And we almost lost Detroit that time. We're going to get over losing you. We're going to lose Fat Joe this time.
Just 30 miles from Detroit.
So, off the shores of the Atlantic, there's this little island called Puerto Rico. And they came to New York and sat around in the neighborhood, listened to the brothers as the brothers sang, as the brothers rapped. And then he claimed he was the father of it. No, Poppy, you ain't the father of nada, nothing. All right? The precursor was Gil Scott Heron. All right, so let's get into this a little bit more here. All right, so Fat Joe, you come over here perpetrating as if you are the ones that started everything, and then you go on this guy, Matt Hoffa. I appreciate the show. I listen to it, but you want to call everybody a nooka. And simply because you grew up around it, you're not of it. You a menace to people like me. I'm a light bright. Got called all kind of names in the book. Being from Detroit, we didn't have any Puerto Ricans. Mexicans were just a few on the other side of the town. No Dominicans. Italians were out there somewhere, but we didn't have anybody but black, white, and Jewish. And you best believe nobody was walking around there like you. If I couldn't do it, You sure in the hell couldn't do it. Go around calling everybody a nooka. Man, I had to knuckle up so many times walking home from school, just walking to the store back and forth because they'd say, there's the white boy. And then you come along and you want to start this nonsense. You and Rachel Dolezal giving us light brights, mulattoes, Creoles, Melungeons, Goldens. You give us a bad name. Give us a bad look. In fact, I'm sitting on I go on some of these YouTube things sometimes. I have these debates. We get knuckleheads like somebody called Radical Latino, another fucking New Yorker. Gets on there saying, well, you guys need to come with us. The fuck you talking about? You haven't shed any blood over here. Your grandfather wasn't almost hung for stuff. You don't have an African-American Methodist preacher in your family. You don't have anybody that did the hard work. The work that even allows you to even be called one of the fellas. To even use the N-word. Nooka? Because if you've been walking down my Dexter, y'all would have moved back to Puerto Rico. So let's get something real clear here. You cannot come over here. I don't care how many generations you've been over here. You cannot come over here talking about those foundational black idiots over here saying this, that, and the other. I happen to like that word. We're coming up with new terminologies in this country. And we're saying it's our time. Whether we're mixed, whether we're full black, whether we're brown, as long as we're foundational, we're good. And we have right to create our own acronyms now. We're taking our stuff back. Not going to be called something by somebody else. And for all of you all that come over here and put your knees on our neck, or you wear the coat when it's beneficial, when you want to get into a university, you want a job, or you put on the colors, but you ain't like us. And me talking about Kendrick, that's a whole nother video. But you ain't like us. Because when you get behind closed doors, you talk like you just talked. Nooka? So let's get things straight here, Fat Joe. You need a history lesson? Go back and listen to Gil Scott-Heron, Preacher on the Corner. Ask Chuck D. He'll tell you. And for all those other genres of music and dancing, none of that shit started anywhere but America. Because if there's one thing that's true, Black Americans drive the culture all over the world.